Most civilizations across the galaxy had reached a profound consensus long before they began exploring beyond their home worlds. This understanding wasn't something born out of advanced technology, rather, it was an ancient agreement forged during times when societies were still in their infancy, with technological advancements no more sophisticated than castles and armies wielding pikes. The realization was stark and unequivocal: maintaining large militaries was not worth the tremendous cost for any emerging government. For any government contemplating militarization, the future held one of two grim outcomes. The first possibility was that they would be swiftly crushed by neighboring nations who feared potential aggression and sought to neutralize any threat preemptively. The second scenario involved these governments succeeding in their militaristic ambitions, only to find that their newly expanded power structure was vulnerable to internal strife and rebellion, leading to eventual overthrow. As a result, demilitarization became the norm across the galaxy. While there were always exceptions to this rule, among the 11 most influential civilizations in the Orion Arm, a shared system of governance, military strategy, and economic structure emerged and became widely accepted. This pattern of peaceful coexistence and minimal military engagement was assumed to be universal. However, this assumption was dramatically overturned with the arrival of humans. When a probe first discovered Earth, it seemed like just another insignificant blue planet. Yet, this discovery triggered a cascade of disbelief and uncertainty among the galactic civilizations. A reconnaissance mission was launched to investigate further, and the findings were nothing short of astonishing. On this seemingly unremarkable planet, one nation stood out: the United States of America. Not only did this nation surpass the leading civilizations of the Orion Arm in terms of military might, but it also boasted a military capacity that exceeded the combined strength of half the known galaxies. The United States of America was an anomaly, even by Earth standards. Despite accounting for only about half of Earth's total military strength, it possessed the largest blue water navy, white water navy, air force, naval air force, ground support units, and armored corps. The scale and sophistication of its military forces were beyond anything the galactic civilizations had encountered, leaving them in a state of shock and re-evaluation. They allocated 25% of their budget to their military, while maintaining one of the highest standards of living, second only to their closest allies. If these allied militaries combined their forces, they could rival the most powerful armies in the galaxy. In response to this potential threat, swift containment measures were implemented. A strict embargo was placed on selling faster-than-light (FTL) technology to humans, and galactic trade with Earth was restricted to essential goods only. However, there was a persistent suspicion about the true purpose of the 15 ships occasionally slipping past patrol vessels, which were laden with home furniture, computers, and disturbingly, military equipment. As I addressed a gathering of monarchs and leaders, I sensed their discomfort. Their attention was conveniently fixated on the portraits of their founders, avoiding eye contact. My main concern, however, was not the humans' military prowess. It was the mass exodus triggered by rumors of Earth's freedoms, including limited work hours, the abolition of slavery, and a government accountable to its people. A total of 172 ships, manned by a mix of commoners and slaves with minimal guards, had ceased communication and embarked on a journey to Earth. All of these ships were equipped with some form of FTL technology. If the humans upheld their principles and built as rapidly as their history suggested, we had mere weeks to prepare our defenses and crush their dreams of space exploration. Yet, before I could finish rallying support for a preemptive strike, an aide handed me a report. My heart pounded as I skimmed through the contents. It described a standard trading ship, but emblazoned not with the insignia of a galactic house or clan, but with 50 stars and 13 stripes, the emblem of the United States. This ship had been retrofitted with military-grade equipment nearly matching our own, and it was a harbinger of the storm to come. The room fell silent as the image was projected for all to see. The realization dawned upon us: the galaxy's balance of power was teetering on the edge of a precipice, with Earth poised to tip the scales. As the image of the trading ship with its unmistakable American insignia lingered on the screen, the room was gripped by a palpable tension. The kings and queens, once complacent, now wore expressions of deep concern and uncertainty. The silence was broken only by the faint hum of the projector. "We cannot ignore this threat," I finally spoke, my voice echoing in the grand chamber. "The Americans have already demonstrated their capabilities, and if we do not act swiftly, their influence will spread like wildfire." The intertwining of commerce and military strength had become increasingly indistinct. The rapid technological advancements and the ideological appeal of human society were attracting the oppressed and disillusioned from across the galaxy. This dual threat, both military and ideological, was causing significant concern among other civilizations. In a grand assembly hall adorned with banners and symbols of various interstellar nations, one of the monarchs, a regal figure draped in emerald robes, stood to address the gathered leaders. Her presence commanded attention, and the room fell silent. "We must form a coalition," she declared, her voice resonating with authority. "An alliance of our most powerful forces to confront this burgeoning threat. If we allow them to continue unchecked, the balance of power will shift irreparably." Her words struck a chord, and murmurs of agreement swept through the room. It was evident that a unified response was necessary. Yet, deep down, I feared that even this might not be enough. The humans had demonstrated not only superior military capabilities but also a resilience and adaptability that were unprecedented. As the coalition began to take shape, reports continued to pour in from various corners of the galaxy. More and more ships were departing for Earth, each carrying a mix of hopefuls and rebels eager to join the burgeoning human society. The allure of freedom and opportunity promised by the humans was irresistible to many. Within weeks, the coalition fleet was assembled. Ships from every major civilization in the Orion Arm converged at a central point, a testament to the gravity of the situation. As the supreme commander of our forces, I was tasked with leading the charge. The stakes had never been higher. Our first objective was to establish a blockade around Earth, effectively cutting off any further influx of potential allies and resources. The plan was straightforward: isolate the humans, weaken their resolve, and strike when they were most vulnerable. However, as we approached the solar system, we encountered an unexpected sight. A vast armada of ships, each bearing the American insignia, stood ready. Among them were vessels of various designs and origins, hastily retrofitted and armed. The humans had not been idle. They had rallied those who had escaped to their cause, integrating them into their defense. As our fleet moved into position, a transmission was received. The face of a human commander appeared on our screens. His expression was calm, but his eyes held a steely determination. "To the leaders of the coalition," he began, his tone firm but respectful, "we acknowledge your concerns, but we will not be intimidated. We stand for freedom, for opportunity, and for the right of all beings to determine their own destiny. We invite dialogue, not conflict." The proposition was unexpected. Some in the coalition saw it as a sign of weakness, others viewed it as a genuine offer of peace. Yet the fear of Earth's growing influence loomed large. After brief deliberation, it was decided we would proceed with the blockade but remain open to negotiations. Weeks turned into months as the standoff continued. Skirmishes broke out, testing both our resolve and theirs. But with each passing day, it became clear that the humans were not to be underestimated. Their ingenuity and tenacity were evident in every encounter. They used unconventional tactics, leveraging their technological innovations and diverse fleet to their advantage. Our intelligence reports indicated that the humans were continuously adapting, learning from each skirmish, and improving their defenses. Finally, a breakthrough came. A group of diplomats, representing a diverse array of civilizations within the coalition, managed to broker a summit. It was held on a neutral station orbiting a distant moon, far from the tensions surrounding Earth. The station itself was a marvel of engineering, a symbol of what could be achieved through cooperation and peace. There, amidst heated debates and tense negotiations, a tentative agreement was reached. The humans would be allowed to continue their expansion but under strict regulations and oversight. In return, they would share certain technological advancements and work towards mutual goals of peace and prosperity. It was not a perfect solution, but it was a step toward stability. The summit marked the beginning of a new era, one where dialogue and cooperation were prioritized over conflict and war. As I concluded my thoughts, I found myself deeply reflecting on the profound transformations that had taken place across the galaxy. The entire cosmos had been compelled to adapt to unprecedented changes, prompting a rethinking of long-held paradigms and the embracing of new possibilities. The Americans had shown us that true strength extended beyond mere military might. It encompassed ideals, innovation, and the courage to dream bigger. Their influence had been transformative. The humans, far from merely surviving, had significantly impacted and reshaped the galaxy. They brought forth a wave of new ideas, technologies, and cultural exchanges that enriched our collective existence. The once rigid boundaries between civilizations began to blur, replaced by a shared vision for the future. As we embarked on this new era of cooperation, it was clear that the future would no longer be dictated by fear and conflict. Instead, it would be defined by our shared pursuit of a better tomorrow, driven by mutual respect, collaboration, and a collective determination to explore and achieve the extraordinary. This shift promised not only a more harmonious existence but also the potential for unparalleled advancements and discoveries that would benefit all beings in the galaxy.